Well, that's not true. In October 2020, I went on an investigation into Dadiyata's disappearance. I went to Federal University Busema, where I interviewed the ASHTU chairman of the institution. I went to Kanu, where Dadiyata had traveled to, and some of this information I'm going to say now have not been in public domain. When I went to Katsina, Federal University Busema, that was where I was told that Dadiyata left that school where he lectured as a lecturer in the linguistic department and traveled to Kano that same day on 2nd of August 2019. When he got to Kano, he told his friend, his very close friend, his childhood friend, that he was coming to Kano, but his friend didn't get to see him. I also interviewed the friend. Sometimes around 9 p.m., he told the friend that he was going to Kaduna. So he left Kano to Kaduna on the same day. And all through the journey, he was on a phone call. But we cannot tell who he was on phone with. He got to Kaduna sometimes around 2 a.m. because of, at that time, the road construction, Zaria Kano road construction. So I'm sure that may have affected his journey. So he got to Kaduna around 2 a.m. According to his wife, who I interviewed, I also interviewed the mother who died some years ago. His wife said she heard when he got to the compound, he was driving a BMW vehicle. At that moment, through the window, she could see some armed persons who accosted the husband. They took him away alongside his vehicle. Now, but she told me something. She told me that when the husband was taken away, few days later, because that was Ramadan, I think it was, close to Salah, I think, one of the Salah celebrations. She said that she, El-Rufai, brought a ram to the family. I think I've said this on X, and I'm saying it again. The wife is still alive. Some of his family members are still alive. You can verify. He brought a ram to her that is for Salah. And she was wondering, you never liked my husband. You guys were not friends. Why are you bringing a ram to my family? And the family unanimously agreed that the ram should be returned to El-Rufai's son, who sent the ram. Now, the family, because we were on Twitter when Dadiyata was doing his advocacy, we saw his criticisms on El-Rufai. The reason why El-Rufai said they should point to any tweets when Dadiyata criticizes government was because the Twitter handle is gone. So there's no evidence. You can't revisit there. It's gone. And during my investigation, I also, one of the big walls it hit was that we couldn't obtain the call data record, which would have given us an idea who he was on phone with on that day. Some people called him to come to Kaduna. That is what it means for him to have traveled that late. And a year later, in 2021, Globalcom reissued the line, which is also bad. You have a missing person case that is yet to be closed, and you reissued the line the person was using. And that was how I couldn't continue with that investigation. And then I started getting threats. I had to go on exile and all that. So we believe that the El-Rufai's family, even when we look at Bashir's tweets on 23rd December 2019, we could tell that that family also has question to answer with regards to Dadiyata's disappearance.